Hello everybody, this is Bugsy and I'm here to say, oh my god, I'm looking at some shit. What did I say? I'm looking at some shit today. I want to tell you guys one thing. Sorry, I was watching some nostalgia great. I don't know, I always do that. Like, sometimes I use the nostalgia great as, So, anyways, like I said, I use the nostalgia critic to, I use the nostalgia critic videos to kind of fall asleep to. I don't know why, it just puts me out. I'm like, roll up, freaking listen to a review, and then boom. Oh, the lights, oh, my lights go. But, basically, though, freaking Sonic Forces, man. Freaking Sonic Forces. Oh my god, guys, like, okay, this is only very, very subtle, but, oh my, so I was right. Your character does get to go to Green Hill, a very industrialized Green Hill. Actually, it's kind of like what I went. Oh, what is that? Okay, anyways, it's what I kind of had planned. It's kind of what I had planned for Sonic Freedom Fighters, where Green Hill. Green Hill is a place in Sonic Freedom Fighters that actually does get taken over by Robotnik. Like, seriously, I'm not fucking kidding. That is what it's gonna be. So, basically, basically the plan is, but basically, from what I'm seeing, your character is working with the Resistance, and Silver and the rest are talking to him. And I hear that Chemical Plant Zone's gonna be in this. So yeah, I think Robotnik has literally said, "Fuck it. Who cares about erasing my defeats? Nah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do it right this time. I'm gonna go back in time, and I'm gonna take it over with my new technology and stuff. I will take everything over." See, like Robotnik's like classic Robotnik was all about like, fucking ruling the world. Modern Robotnik was all about, I'm gonna go build Eggman Land. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that. But this Robotnik doesn't give a fuck. He is industrializing everything. He's doing what he did in CD. But I don't know. It feels much grander. I don't know why, but it does. And if they rehash some levels on Sonic Forces, and like, you know what, I want to say this. I want to say this to every motherfucker that said, "Hey, Green Hill."
I guess you can't really do what you wanted to do then.
I want to say this.
He said something similar with Sonic Mania.
Yeah, I feel like Green Hill's gonna be a different thing, and for everybody who bitched and moaned about it, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you with the rabbit, with a raving rabbit still do. Yeah, you don't even want to know what that's all about. No, 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 no. Oh man, but I am so like happy because I think my theory is correct. I think Eggman's at the end of his rope. Not like he's gonna hang himself afterwards, but like I think he's really at the end of his rope in this game. He's like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna do this again, like I did in Sonic Generations, but this time I'm gonna go one step beyond. Fuck classic Eggman. He He thinks I don't know what I'm doing? Oh, I'll show him. Which even though he's talking about the past stuff. So there's a little goofiness there. There's a little bit of goofiness there.
Well, yeah, they're bringing back what they did in Sonic Heroes and the final boss in Generations, where the characters come in and talk during.
And freaking people are illustrating like, freaking pulling Remy like usual. Like his old buddy Nerdword is just kind of, complaining about, Aaron Weber saying it's just like colors. I think but it's not. It's kind of like the evolution of colors. Like colors is next step. I'm like it's not a bad thing. I don't personally see it as a bad thing. Y'all can see it as a bad thing because like you want it one way. A lot of us want it the other way, and I think this is a perfect little. I say from what I'm looking at, it seems like a perfect little mix, and I can't wait to play it. Like, seriously, every time I look at Sonic Forces, I'm like, shit, I want you. I want you. Like, seriously, guys, you have no idea. I'm, like, just sitting here going, like, yeah.
The level. Okay, this is new. This is, like, an entire, like, factory. You see a pyramid back there. I guess that's technically, people were technically right. There is a pyramid back there. Actually, no. No. People thought that was Station Square. But damn, this is like a mesh between Green Hill, but like the industrialization.
But yeah, people are tripping out. I bet you people are gonna trip out that that's gonna have a Sonic Forces going to the chemical plant. I feel like the chemical plant is gonna be different from Mania, but it's gonna be it's really going to be. It's not what we're gonna think that it is. It's gonna look a lot. I think it's going to look a little bit more like the bad future. I'm telling you guys. Eggman's going fucking dark, I think. Because no way would, Eggman just use that fucking thing unless he wanted to use Egg Dragoon. But let's just look at the story details. Shadow confirmed for Forces. Alright, cool.
Hey fans, what is up?
Well, Sonic's still gonna have to save Shadow from going to the future where Silver takes over. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look at Sonic and Shadow go to the future. You will not be sorry. You will not be sorry.
For Guy Seven Aces, dropping you with more info on Sonic Forces. Alright, to my huge surprise, Sega actually decided to do a secret live stream earlier today on Sonic Forces. Like, I thought they were going to do that by 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and I was about to head on for work. I was about to go to work early, thinking, I'll come back from work just in time for the live stream. Nope, wrong again, because Sega decided to do a live stream early. And
Gamer Guy, so like Gamer Guy, you had to like go to work and like the stream was playing. I feel bad for you, man. You probably missed out. I missed out because no one told me that they were doing this. And soon, guys, we're gonna be going to the Sony press conference. I will have a stream up, and we will get fucking crazy. It's E3, kids. I'm feeling it. You're feeling it. We're all feeling it. We're all. Sorry. E3 is like fucking gamer Christmas. It just gets me so fucking amped, man. Okay, I gotta look at that video that Gamer Guy Ace said because it's a discussion video, and I kind of wanna. He's saying that all the Sonic voice actors suck, and I wanna kind of see that. But I kind of like Sonic talking because he has a personality.
Sonic Troopers and Sonic fans everywhere just started leaking everything, and like Sega is never good at hiding shit. That is their main weakness. But anyway, so I'm here to discuss the story, but this time I'm not talking about the plot details of the third character or Sonic's fate or Tails. I'm talking about classic Sonic. We finally got some information about Classic Sonic, and for
I
the
think we
longest time,
saw
I've always
Tails
thought,
in
okay,
the
this is the
in the
Classic
thing.
Sonic from Generations, Classic Sonic from the past. But now it's been confirmed by Sega that Classic Sonic is not from the past. This Classic Sonic is from a different dimension. So now this confuses a lot of people. Like, wait, if this is
Y'all motherfuckers thought I was crazy. Y'all motherfuckers thought, oh no, Bugsy was just being fucking crazy. He thought, like, that's freaking classic Sonic from the past. Not Sonic from another dimension. Not Sonic from the Archie dimension, because that would just be dumb. That would be so stupid. But he may not be the one from the Archie dimension, but something close to it. Probably Mania is in another dimension. But if it really is if it really is the Sonic that I think it is, sorry.
Classic Sonic from another dimension, then it doesn't make any sense when Sonic is like, hey Sonic, enjoy your future, it's going to be great, because this is not even that Sonic, this is a different Sonic. This is not leaking any plot details, but this is just a huge speculation of mine. I think this is the same Classic Sonic from Generations, but he has his own timeline now. I think what Sega's trying to do here is what DBZ did with Trunks. Like, this is multiple timelines, or I forgot what that's called.
Well, you're saying that Classic Sonic had a non-linear timeline? Well, I guess that makes sense. I think when the Time Eater fucked with time, the first time, it really did put Sonic's timeline out of sync. So, Classics, like, modern Sonic's timeline is still cool. Like, the classic game still happened. But now, this classic Sonic was taken out of time, and his time is out of sync. So now, there's probably gonna be classic Sonic games and modern Sonic games. You fucking happy, everybody? You finally get your fucking wish. Calm the. I don't know why I say calm the fuck down. You guys didn't say anything, but it makes a certain nerd word and make a certain nerd word happy. And why do I talk about Nerdware in my videos? Because god dang, he is the most wishy-washy Sonic fan ever. And I say wishy-washy because he's like, I don't know about Sonic Mania. It's not gonna be anything special. And he made a retraction. He made a retraction from that and Sonic Forces. I'm like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, because you can't judge something on video alone. You have to actually have it in your hands, sir. You have to actually have it in your goddamn hands. You can't just be like, oh, well, you can't be just like, oh, well, that's why you be looking like an idiot half the time, because you'd be like, you be making these retractions, but that's how I feel about it.
Theory or whatever. The thing is, after the event,
the reason I'm not wishy-washy is because I actually want to play this. I want to judge it by playing it. It's what you're supposed to do, okay? You can make speculations, you can think about it, but at the end of the day, you actually have to play it to really form some sort of opinion about it. That's the thing. That's the thing I've been trying to say to people for like fucking months now. You can't just seriously look at something and be like, oh, I don't want to play it. No, you have to actually try to play it, or at least if you're not gonna play it, say that you're not gonna play it. But don't say that it sucks just because you saw a little bit of footage. It's just, you can't just fucking do that. You can't fucking do that.
So Sonic Generations for Classic Sonic. Classic Sonic's future is never going to be the same as modern Sonic. His timeline is going to be completely different now, because he's already experienced all the levels that modern Sonic experienced through him being modern Sonic. The Classic Sonic's already experienced all these levels that modern Sonic experiences. So his future, he's not going to be reliving the same events as modern Sonic. You understand what I'm saying? He's not going to be going through the same events as Sonic Adventure 1, 2,
that
Sonic
book?
06.
What book? Mwahaha. To surpass my expectations, the ultimate of my genius. wouldn't you expect? I wouldn't expect you to understand roads. Sorry.
He's not going to be going through that.
Sorry, that felt
He's
like a
gonna have his
Robotnik
own
line, and I
different
had to say
So
it
now
like
you
that.
have two Sonics, two different timelines. You have modern Sonic, who has already lived his life from like Sonic the Hedgehog 1 until present. And then you have classic Sonic, who up until Sonic 2 or whatever, had his timeline interrupted and went to the events of Sonic Generations. So now, from Sonic 2 on up, his future is going to be completely different. It's like Dragon Ball Z. Future Trunks was actually Kid Trunks. What would happen if, Future Trunks had not gone back to the past? Goku was supposed to die from a heart disease. The androids were supposed to take over the world.
Here we go, buddy. We get it, man. We get it.
So it was always supposed to end up being Trunks.
I'm kidding, man.
With Gohan dying.
But yeah, we
and
get
then
it.
That Trunks came back to the past to prevent all that from happening. So what he did was create a different.
Hey, I feel like it's racist that they're in blue face. They're in blue face. They're in blue face, motherfucker. It's racist. I can't say that shit with a straight face. Oh my god. Remember, the rest of you guys are in blue face. The same fucking cats.
Help stop the androids. So now Goku lives, and the Goku we know will continue to have adventures. But Trunks, future Trunks, his timeline will still be the same. It's unaffected. The only thing he's done now is just create a better future for the past now and made it branch off into a different timeline. And you guys will understand more if you watch Dragon Ball Super.
Can we speed this up?
Explains classic Sonic's re-entry in existence. Now, I do think modern Sonic should still know who classic Sonic is, but classic Sonic's future is different. And this also means now that Sonic Mania might be canon. It might fit into classic Sonic's story now. Before forces or
there's soldiers there. There's other soldiers. I swear to God, if any of you make anything like, other like Mobians and whatever shouldn't fit in this into this game world. Fuck you! It's a war. Do you understand? Watch Sonic Stadium, and you will understand every goddamn thing I've been saying up until this point. Sorry. It's the little things that are titillating me right now. It's the little things that I am seeing right now.
So we don't know, but that is pretty interesting information, and that is my speculation of the entire fight.
So
If I'm
Eggman
proven
and
right,
weapon
then
of
I'll
his
make a
sleeve.
video.
Oh!
But alright guys, what do you think about all this? Let me know down in the comments below.
And you know what?
What are your hype levels?
We're seeing Knuckles and the
Alright, guys, that
Chaotix.
wraps up for now,
This
but until
does
next
feel
time.
like the comics, man, because
Right,
they were all the team together. Oh man, guys, I just, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? Woo! 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 Like, seriously, it's the little stuff, because, yeah, it's another thing to say that they're all on the same team, and they kind of phone it in and show Knuckles and, Tails and Amy, but I saw Soldier and Vector, and probably we're going to see SBO. Okay, now I want to talk about Sonic's voice actor. I know, I'm all hyped up. This is making me so happy. And I should probably go to Ubisoft's freaking thing. But I'm probably going to look and see what they actually had. And probably make my own, reaction videos accordingly. Probably tomorrow before it gets here. So, yes.
Alright fans, something pretty controversial that I want to talk about, and this might get a lot of hate or dislikes or whatever, but I have to say because it's something I've come to realize over the years, and I could never put my finger on it, and I know a lot of people could never put their finger on it, because, especially a lot of Sonic haters are like, Sonic in the 90s, but that coolness, we used to think that before, when people were like, what's wrong with Sonic?
Let me just speed this up because I don't want to look at the whole video.
Jason Griffith, Roger Craig Smith. In a way, they've kind of made Sonic less cool. And you can hate on Roger Peck Smith all you want. This is on all of them, not just Roger, not just Jason, not just Ryan. The more they talk as Sonic, the more uncool he becomes. Let me explain. Since the classic days, Sonic's most badass moments have always been when he's not talking much. You know, just think about classic Sonic. He barely talks, and his most coolest moments were when he's waiting on you, when you're not playing with him on the screen, to the poses he makes on the cover, to everything he does admitted coolness. Just the picture drawn at them. Actions speak louder than words. Sonic.
Well, I'm sorry, gamer guy. I just don't feel the same way you do. I mean, yeah, classic. Sonic was cool because he didn't speak, but I felt when Sonic did finally speak in a game, it showed his coolness. I mean, we all have our own perceived levels of cool. You know, I do, you do, everybody does. But personally, I don't think all the Sonic voice actors suck. You know, you have your own personal preference, and I'm not saying you don't have. You know, I feel like Ryan, Jason, and Craig and Roger, they do their best. They actually are good. I mean, I understand if you think they suck, it's it's you. You know, if you think they kind of suck, it's all right. I ain't gonna hate you for it. We're all entitled to our opinions. We're all entitled to think the way we want to think.
Like anime too, like Dragon Ball Z, the original. That's why I prefer Dragon Ball Z Kai so much more to the original, because you had Sean Schemmel and I forgot the other guy, Chris Sabat, who reprised their roles and improved on a lot of their lines for DBZ Kai. Now, of course, the Dragon Ball fanboys, prefer the original and think it's better than
Yeah,
Kai.
we like freaking, we like freaking, I like Kai because it's like, I'll tell you why I like Dragon Ball Kai. And not because of any pretentious shit. It just cuts out all the filler, It's like, because it's like you're having a good piece of lamb, right? And it's been a while since I had lamb, but I'm using this analogy anyway. And there's like a lot of fat on it. You eat the lamb, even though you probably don't like the fat that much. But think of Kai as the lamb without any fat on it. Think about it like that. Think about it like that, guys. I like Kai because I'm not some fucking stupid ass purist that goes like, you changed the things. If you want to look at a stupid motherfucker basically bug the fuck out, go watch Gohan Team Fighter shit. Or Super Saiyan Goku, I don't know what his fucking name is anymore. Like I said, if you want to watch a stupid idiot wild out, go watch that motherfucker.
But let's be honest, Kai is way better, and even the actors themselves prefer Kai. So that was the case with Sonic Adventure. The only problem was Ryan Drummond, they never made a remake of Sonic Adventure or Heroes or whatever, so Ryan Drummond never got to work on his lines, which I'm sure he would have done a great job. But it was just that it was a little bit improved in Sonic Adventure 2. They had got the scripts ahead of time, were able to translate it well. But the audio and sound mixing was still a problem. Take this, for example.
Is everyone alright? We should be landing soon.
The hatch doors are open. Sweat it, Knuckles. The only thing in the cargo bay are those mass railroad sweaters, right? Land the shuttle and let me out. Crash this thing if you keep that up.
Well, that's not really because of the voice actors. That is because the people who are sound and audio mixing the goddamn thing. I'm not trying to hate you, gamer guy. Like, you're like the one Sonic YouTuber that I still respect, other than Dylan Thomas. Because at least you guys don't act like complete utter asses. some Sonic fans, some Sonic YouTubers I ran into act like complete asses.
Don't touch that lever!
You see what I mean? Doesn't matter how good you sound. If everyone's always interrupting you, you're not going to sound your best. It's not going to sound good, and the finished product just isn't good. So Ryan Drummond, he didn't really make Sonic any more badass. Matter of fact, Sonic's most badass parts in the adventure games were, again, when he wasn't talking. You know, the being chased by the convoy truck, to the intro with him and Shadow, but all of that was when he wasn't talking. Even when he transformed to Super Sonic against Perfect Chaos, he wasn't talking. Ryan Drummond didn't make Sonic any more badass than he already was. Matter of fact, he's been the butt of jokes. Take Game Grumps, for example. So yeah, now, let's talk
Yeah, but that's done for comedy. I'm sorry. It's just, I just disagree.
Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06.
I disagree, man. I disagree heavily.
Pretty cringy when he first started Sonic, especially with Sonic X. But he only improved because, unlike Ryan Drummond, he got to improve as the time went on, you know, because Sega was better with translating scripts and having, you know, laid out scripts for the voice actors to work on. Jason Griffith was able to improve all the way up until Sonic Unleashed and the Black Knight, which I think were his two best works. But still, even in those eras, with the modern era of Sonic, his badass moments were when he wasn't talking. Let's take Sonic Unleashed, for example. The intro. Sonic wasn't talking at all, and that was, hands down, the most badass.
And can I just say one thing, Gamer Guy Aces? I feel like we all have our own... We all have our own... I mean, what I think is badass may not be what you think is badass. Or what the Honest Joe may think is badass, I won't think is badass. Or you may not think is badass. You may think it's lame. You know? It's just, we guys, you know, it's not just, we gotta see it, you know, you gotta see it through a lot of parameters, a lot of different, well, not parameters, what the fuck am I saying parameters for? Sorry. I'm not trying to say parameters. I'm saying, like, you gotta see it through a different way. Like, we always will like, we'll always like our different Sonic voice actors. You know, people that have voiced Sonic. I will always fucking love Jaleel White because he was the very first English voice to Sonic that I remember. And yeah, he wasn't really the best, but I still have fondness for Jaleel White being Sonic. Hell, if I had my way, I'd have him voice Sonic for freaking Sonic Freedom Fighters. I would, without question.
Moments of Sonic in the whole entire series, and he wasn't talking. It was only the very end when he talked, when he was like,
This is new. Showing remorse, Eggman? If you played nice, I wouldn't have to break all your toys.
so he only said 2 lines, and the other one was like, you've gone and done it this time, Eggman. And even when I showed my friends that, you know, who never cared about Sonic, and they're like, wow, I didn't know Sonic was this badass and, you know, destroying robots. In the very end, they all said the same thing, like, oh, he talks. You know, nobody was surprised when Dr. Eggman talks because, I mean, he's a human being. Dr. Eggman has always been pretty solid with his voice acting, even Dean Bristow a bit. So we're not talking about Eggman.
See, again, that's the thing. You guys, just because you guys think that, you know, Sonic's badass when he doesn't talk, I feel like it's the other way around. I feel like in the classic era, you know, there was no such thing as full-on voice actors back then in the Genesis era. You know? There was no such thing as that. You know, personally, I think when Sonic does say that, it is pretty badass because Eggman is basically on his knees while freaking, you know, I mean, you know, he's like, you know, to me that is cool because he's just like, you know, he's being, you know, because that's the thing about Sonic. When he's fucking with Eggman, he's about to win, he's fucking lobbing insults. He's fucking saying, you know, he's fucking being condescending to him even though, you know, Robotnik's lost. And that's why I like that. I like a Sonic that just can. I like a Sonic that can hurl insults at Eggman and get him all angry and flustered and shit. It's fun. That's always how it's been with me. Again, you're entitled to your own opinion, but I'm just saying, if you really wanted to widen the net a little bit, I'd suggest, asking other people who do like Sonic's voices. You know?
We're talking about Sonic. So yeah, Sonic's badass moments have always been when he wasn't talking, even in the Jason Griffith era. Sonic 06 also as well. The moment you start talking, it was like, eh. And Sonic 06, he had the worst lines ever. Just smile and all that. And, with the whole Elise situation.
We don't. Here we got Aces. We don't talk about that. It never happened, okay? It never happened. It never happened, and we will never think about it like that. Silver came from another universe during generations, and we never found out his real backstory. Okay.
Batman in Arkham Origins, the voice of Chris Redfield in the Resident Evil. I mean, he has done, his portfolio and resume is outstanding. Like, he has done way more impressive things than Ryan Drummond and Jason Griffith. He also has voiced Captain America in Lego Marvel Superhero. He has done a lot that I can't even name everything, but he's done great. Now, why is his Sonic voice acting not that great? In my opinion, I prefer Roger Craig Smith as the voice for Sonic more than all the other ones. When I first heard him,
I gotta be real too. I do like Roger Craig Smith because he got the sarcastic tone that Sonic does. Because in the Fleetway comics, Sonic's kind of a fucking douche. But he's like a douche to people, and Roger Craig Smith kind of has that the sarcasticness for Sonic down.
But yeah, and I think they kind of make his voice sound higher in Sonic Lost World to sound like a teenager. But I think it sounds annoying. I want him to sound the way he sounded before in Colors and Generation. Even though he's been the most experienced.
Yeah, because he sounded like he was a 20-something. And that was good.
There's been poor direction because for some reason, Sega has wanted him to be a parody of himself. So basically, Sonic is being a parody of himself, like Baldy McNose hair and all that crap and stuff.
Again, blame that on Pontac. Blame that on the writers. It's not the voice actor's fault. Remember, sir, they only do what is dictated to them on the script. If the script calls for them to say Baldy McNose here, they'll say Baldy McNose here. I think you really got to take this up with the writers, not freaking the Sonic voice actors themselves. The writers are the ones that make Sonic sound the way he does. Again, if you feel like there's such a big problem with Sonic's voice actors, it's not them you need to be going after. It's the writers. The motherfucking Happy Tree fan writers. And the motherfucking people that are writing Sonic stuff in Unleashed. Talk about them. I'm not trying to... Again, I am not trying to start shit. I don't start shit with people I actually respect. Unless I really do feel like they're wrong. And I don't feel like you're wrong, but I feel like what you're trying to say in this video is a tad bit misguided. A little bit. Because I'm like, yeah, I understand, you don't like the Sonic voice actors that much. I get it. But the lines, you're talking about the lines now, and I'm like, that's the writers. That is on the writers mostly. If you want to go at, talk to the writers. They're the ones that freaking make Sonic say Baldy McNose here.
That's why some people think he's the worst Sonic voice, and he's actually one of the better, more seasoned voice actors. And you can tell, just look at Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom has been basically where he's been shining as a voice actor for Sonic, because Sonic Boom is a parody, is a caricature of itself. And I think Sonic Boom should be called Sonic Meta, because a lot of the humor now, especially Season 2, is just meta humor, breaking the fourth wall and all that. But yeah, as far as a serious Sonic, we haven't seen that yet from Roger Craig Smith because of the direction. And and this has led a lot of people call Sonic a jackass. Roger Craig Smith makes Sonic a jackass. And these people are dumb to me. Like, I don't understand how they would think that. Sonic has always been a bit of an asshole. Has always been a bit of a jackass. Since the classic times. Remember when he said, "Shut up, Tails"?
Yeah, that's true, and that's why I like Sonic the way he is, because he's always been kind of a jackass to people. Like, he cares, but he ain't afraid to say, shut the fuck up, or just shut up. Although I feel like the Fleetway comic, Sonic really that's like too much of him being an asshole, where he should kind of be a hero. And I feel like if Fleetway Sonic ever met the Freedom Fighters, or Fleetway Sonic ever met Bugsy the Hedgehog, he would Bugsy the Hedgehog would beat the shit out of him for one. He'd be ready to put him out. I feel like the other Freedom Fighters wouldn't be able to stand that version of Sonic as well, because he's such an asshole. And the thing is, it's all about striking good balance between Sonic's personality. He's an asshole, but he cares. He can be a douche, but when it comes right down to it, his main priority is making sure his friends are okay. You know what I mean?
The thing is, Sonic has a heart of gold. He likes to help people. He likes to seek adventure. But at the same time, he can be kind of cocky and kind of have an attitude to be jackass. This has been portrayed since Jaleel White days. Now, despite all this, the only hedgehog that has had the most badass delivery with his dialogue has been Shadow the Hedgehog. And it's ironic because he's supposed to be the quieter of the two. He's supposed to be the more silent emo type. Yet every time he speaks, the majority of the time, he has badass delivery. And this goes all the way back to Sonic Adventure 2. So, yeah, and even Sonic 06, a terrible game, he still has the most badass line.
You're my enemy. The things always have.
I mean, come on, that was...
Again, how did he get out of that? I always wanted to know, how the fuck did Shadow get out of that? I mean, I know we're talking about Sonic voice actors and shit, but how did Shadow get out of that? They never said. I played this once, because once is enough, but fuck, they never explained how Shadow got out of that. Like, there's a million Nephilises all around him, Omega, and Rouge, and he just, how did he get out of that?
And, it's kind of funny because this just brings up more parallels with Sonic and Dragon Ball. Look at, Shadow is more like Vegeta, Sonic is more like Goku. Now, between Vegeta and Goku, tell me, who has the most memorable quote of the two? Vegeta, obviously. Vegeta has had the most memorable quotes. So even though Goku's lines have not been cringy like Sonic at all, I love Goku too and his lines, but Vegeta has outclassed Goku all the time when it comes to lines and dialogue. He just is, because...
And he's actually a better father than Goku is. But, I can talk about Vegeta compared to Goku some other time.
The Sonic Forces and beyond, Sonic should speak minimally. He shouldn't be too talkative. But I'm not saying he should be like Mario, just saying, "Wahoo! Mario time," or all that stuff. No. He should still speak a little bit. He wasn't talking. He wasn't like, "That tornado is carrying a car. If I jump on the ladder," he wasn't being Captain Obvious in Sonic 06. But just the little things or grunts he makes him sound cool. And that's what I want.
I just feel like Sonic should talk. That's what makes him more different than Mario, because he can actually speak. Mario doesn't really have much in the personality department. He's a hero, but we don't know much else about him. Sonic, we know a lot about him because he talks and because we know a little bit more about his world. That's the one factor that makes him more different than Mario, because of all the silent protagonists in the 90s, he's the only one. He's the only one that actually does speak. When it comes to platforming mascots, he's the only one that actually speaks. I mean, you could say Bubsy, but, Bubsy spoke, but, I'm saying that's what makes him different than that's what makes Sonic different than Mario.
It's just up to Sega how they want him to portray Sonic. So we'll have to wait and see when Forces comes out. But what do you guys think about this? Do you totally disagree with me or do you agree with me? I'm sticking with my opinion. This is what I believe. Nobody can change my mind that Sonic has been badass when he talks. No.
I understand. I understand that, gamer guy. I really do. Don't think I don't. Personally, I just feel like it's the other way around, man. I've always felt like it's the other way around. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna say like, oh, you know, Sonic wasn't cool because he didn't speak in the Genesis days. He was cool. To me, Sonic has always exuded that cool, and just because he talked, that doesn't mean his coolness is gone. For some of you, it's probably nerfed, but for me, Sonic is still cool. Sonic is still that motherfucking cool guy you still want to be. You know, to me, he's always going to be like that. But let's see what everybody else says. Jason is best as modern Sonic. Roger is best for Boom. Jason is the best voice actor. Ad's awesome. Do you mean and awesome? I know, guys. I'm being a Sonic fan, but you're on my channel, so deal with it. So, I'm just saying, my hindsight is kicking a lot of people in the ass right now. But, you know, gamer guys, don't take this personal, because I don't want you to. I really don't want you to, man. Because personally, I think Sonic to me is cool when he talks. But yeah, I can understand you don't want him to be such a chatterbox. I can see that. But I personally think Sonic will always be cool because, you know, when it comes to him fucking with Eggman when they talk, like when they're fighting and they're, you know, you hear that banter, that's Sonic's personality shining through. And if you don't see it, well, I can't really change your mind on that. But personally, that's how I feel about it. That's how I've always felt about Sonic speaking. A lot of people always ask me, you know, why do you like Sonic speaking the way he does? Because Sonic can talk. Sonic can talk. I just feel like it's cool. I just feel like the writers never have him. The writers, personally to me, never had him actually say anything cool. You know? I feel like it's the writers. It's the reason, like, again, the writers are the reason that Sonic doesn't sound cool to you. That's what I believe. I say you should go after the writers, you know, talk about the writers of these Sonic games and go from there. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, that's about it. I gotta get ready for the... I have to get ready for the freaking Sony press conference pretty soon. I don't know if Ubisoft is done yet, so I gotta get ready for that. So I'll catch you later, folks. Personally, the Sonic Forces shit is exactly what I needed. Because last night I was pretty down and sad that the comics may be ending. But if Forces keeps going in this direction, I feel like the spirit of the Freedom Fighters will never truly die, even though the characters might. But you know what I mean. And maybe they're just waiting for the comic to end so they can put the Freedom Fighters in the games. But that's all I got, guys. I looked at Super Mario T. And Super Mario T. and Gamer Guy Aces. Check their videos out. Links in the description below. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. I know when it comes to Sonic, I'm a little bit more of a hard ass than I normally am. but that's only because I have passion. No. I hate people saying they have passion. You know, the way that they do. It's just because I'm a fan. I've always been a fan. I love this series, and I want you all to kind of, well, not see the way I see it, but but just understand that's the way I feel. And Gamer Guy, I mean no disrespect when I made this video. Okay? Because unlike a lot of people on YouTube that I blatantly disagree with, you actually have good points. You know? You actually have good points. And you actually can articulate yourself a little bit better than some people. Nerd word. Sorry. That came out. It came out all wrong. Well, no, it didn't. But anyways, like, you can articulate yourself better, and that's good. See, because you don't have to make retractions, but that's a different story. I ain't gonna really like a lot of people saying, "Oh, Bugsy, do another rant on Nerdword if he just says something stupid about Sonic again." I don't know. I might just do that. Like in the near future, we're gonna see a new Sonic game, and he says something about it. I will probably talk about it. It's kind of like an inevitability. But I'll see you guys later. I looked at Super Mario T and Gamer Guy Aces. Again, links to their channels in the descriptions below.